Wow. I really thought the speaker was going to turn off when I hit live, but I guess I'm going to have to fight the Facebook censors for this, you guys. Ugh, I'm really angry this morning. I heard that Texas just said that their legal weed must be below 1% THC. Way to go, Texas. Federal government legalizes weed under 3% THC, and you spend all this time making a bill to legalize something less than that in your own state. That's fucking stupid. And then I read about this House bill that's going to get rid of Delta 8, and put it in the THC category, therefore making it illegal. And I'm going to need a lot of weed today. If you noticed, Platoon420.com hasn't been too active, and that's because I have just had my hands full with, things that people are actually listening to. Like I'm having cannabis activist doubts right now, you guys. Like, do I keep going after, do I keep doing all this volunteer work? Do I keep putting all this time and passion into, spreading this message of ending prohibition, only to continue to watch my network that claim to be cannabis activists, even cannabis smokers, fuck, human beings for that matter, continue to vote for these old parties that continue to shit on your rights? We keep doing this, right? Either you're not listening, or you're not doing it for anything but your own, ego and self-fame, or I don't know what your motive is. My motive is ending any laws, just like the Platoon 420 pledge says, that dictate and regulate what a human being does with their own goddamn body. And now we have the government stepping in federally. Oh, also, Kamala Harris today made a statement that says Joe Biden just doesn't have time to deal with the cannabis legalization issue. That's what you voted for, America. That's what 98% of those who voted in the presidential election voted for. You guys voted in favor of prohibition, and you can't argue that with me anymore. Do better next time. Do your research. Don't cast your vote for career politicians and prosecutors who've literally destroyed the lives of thousands by their own hands and supported these laws that are destroying the lives of millions. I guess you can say we're doing better. Instead of one arrest every 50 seconds now, it's one arrest every 53 seconds. Whew. That's going to hike right up with all this new legislation. And, I'm sitting here, I'm working on trying to organize the logistics with the 51st annual smoke-in at the White House, where we should all be with this same passion, right? Speaking out, not to the government this time. They're not there on July 4th, right? To the people who continue to vote in favor of politicians and government regulations that destroy our lives, kill people. We just learned after the trial today, on the anniversary of George Floyd's death, that had to do with drugs too. Yeah. So Floyd's defense attorney literally tried to use the excuse that Chauvin put his hands on Floyd because he thought he swallowed a bag of drugs. Not a good enough excuse to kill somebody. Not a good enough excuse to put your hands on somebody. And if he overdosed swallowing said drugs, which, nobody's really ever going to know, he shouldn't be in fear of the guy walking up to him to feel like he needs to swallow massive amounts of drugs to save his life, therefore accidentally ending it. Although we all know that's not what happened. We saw the uncomfortable 9-minute video. Anywho, so I'm sitting here, I'm working on logistics around the permits for the 51st annual smoking at the White House. I am working on distribution for Adam versus the Man, where we talk about this kind of stuff every single freaking day, and thousands are listening. Thank you to those of you who do better in your lives, who don't vote for the duopoly, who do vote third party, who do vote in favor of yours and your community's freedom. But I'm starting to wonder, right, because I'm coming around this corner where my hands are starting to get freed up. Do I even want to put any more effort into Platoon420.com? right? Like I 2 years ago went on this quest to say, you know what, I'm going to take the badge off of the cop. I'm tired of watching my friends get bullied, right? Because if you don't have a badge on and you take, and you knock somebody's door down with the butt of your shotgun, you go in there and you point it in the faces of their children, that's assault. That's a armed home invasion. That's unnecessary. If the people inside are only growing weed or only in possession of heroin, I don't even care how hard the drug is. If they're sitting there minding their own business and you're okay with your tax dollars sending men with guns after them, hashtag not my team, guys. We got to do better at this, right? So I set out on this quest 2 years ago to start reporting the news from our perspective. Take the badge off the cop. It's not a raid. It's an armed home invasion. It is not an arrest. It's a kidnapping. It's not confiscation. It's robbery. It's fucking robbery. And it doesn't seem like anybody's listening, right? I post these articles that I work on every day. Again, it's been like, I've had a little break here, focusing on the bigger picture in changing our future for my kid. I mean, I'll be selfish on this one. If you guys want to care about your kid and get on board with me, come on. But if you want to change the future for your kid, start paying attention. Like, stop. Just do better. Do better. Be louder. Vote locally. Make sure you drill these people. People, it's not a big deal. It's weed. It's not a big deal. It's just weed. Well, there's a 62-year-old gentleman in Missouri, I think. I'm sorry. That was put to jail for growing the medicine that was keeping him alive. And he died in custody 3 months afterwards. And this is the reality we're facing. People are literally dying every single day over these laws. And if they're not dying, you got this case in Mississippi where the guy was just put to jail for life for weed. So, he didn't get executed, but he's going to be thrown in a concrete cell to slowly rot to death. And that's what your tax dollars are paying for unless you stand up. And I'm not putting any more effort into this, like, prohibition, ending, legalize it thing. If I keep seeing people, not doing the right thing with that information, not voting the right way, wouldn't it be a more productive use of my time to focus 100% of my efforts in a party whom I know will end this drug war and all other victimless crime laws? Or do I keep spinning tires and watching my cannabis activist friends vote the wrong way and put us in the position we are right now? Fucking 1% THC cap in Texas? Can you even grow? I don't even know if you can do that. Like, that's ditch. I feel like ditchweed has a higher THC content than that. Fucking Christ. Joseph Walski's watching. What's up, Joe? He says, the way all the states are legalizing it because the public demands it. They see the medical benefits and the profit. It's not even about, like, yeah, the medical benefits are great, right? But it's not even about that. It's about over a plant. People are literally dying. And you are voting people into power who say that your tax dollars get to go towards killing those people. Do fucking better, guys. Cannabis community, do better. So when you notice the activity on Platoon 420 slowing down a little, it's because I'm moving a bit further up into the front line. Like, I didn't even think I could do that. I felt like I was right here this whole time, but no, because all you guys on this cannabis activist front line with me, and I don't want to say all and bulk you all in, but a lot of you keep talking against it and you keep voting for it. And I've got to stay away from any of that. I will always commend you for speaking out, but that's not enough. Talk is cheap. You got to do better. Ugh. I think I'm done ranting. So that's it. I guess just an update. Where the fuck's G.I. Mary Jane been? Well, right here in Gardenia with Team Freedom, trying to formulate a plan take steps forward in changing this for all of us. Because it's getting worse. Worse and worse and worse. The policy is getting worse. The tyranny is getting worse. Yet, the evolution of humanity and human kindness is getting better. We need to outshine them. The system doesn't control us, and we know that. We need to proclaim that now and stop living underneath this false veil of daddy government's going to protect me. They haven't. Not at least my entire life. Do better, guys. Don't align with those who align with prohibition. Don't align with those who in government have taken no steps towards changing it. No steps towards positive change. Think about it. And when I get over this weird brain haze and confusion that I'm going through around, like, seeing all this happen right in front of my very eyes, people say, oh, legalize cannabis, and they'll go vote red or blue, state election, federal election, I don't give a shit, right? Then they go align with people who do not align with what they're trying to say. I can't. I'm going to need some time to, make sense of that. It doesn't make sense to me. You know where to find me in the meantime, though. I'll be back.